Hello and welcome you back to Niyachal Polytechnic video lecture classes. I am your faculty Dipankar Ghosh. In today's videos, we are going to learn about working principle of fuel injection system for multi-cylinder engine. That means diesel engine. So a fuel injection means, first of all we have to know what is the meaning of the fuel injection. So fuel injection means the supply of fuel in combustion chambers of an internal combustion engines. The basic thing are the injection of fuel is done by a part named as injector. In petrol engine, fuel injection carried by an device which is named as your carburetor. Fuel injection atomize the fuel through a small nozzle under high pressure. There is a various fuel injection system used in automobile engineering. Here we are finding all of them. So there are two methods of fuel injection in compression ignition engine, that means CI engines. These are number one, air blast injection, and number two is airless or solid injection. And again this airless or solid injection is subdivided into two types. First one, individual pump system, and number two, common rail system. So here in the figure you can see, here we are having this, it is known as your air blast injection. So in air blast injection, here this is the crankcase. There are three cylinders, cylinder number 1, 2 and 3. So here you are using a multi-stage compressor. From that compressor, the function of that compressor is to suck the air from the atmosphere and store in a reservoir. And from that reservoir, through a steel pipeline, these air lines are interconnected to the intake manifold of these cylinders. Now, here you can find number 1, number 2, number 3. Here we are having a 3 fuel pumps. That means we can say in every cylinder we are having individual pumps, and here is the fuel line, and from that fuel line it is connected to this injector. So in air blast injection, what's happened? The method was organized used in large stationary engine. This air blast injection method was organized used in large stationary and marine engines. In this method, the air is first compressed to a very high pressure. A blast of this air is then injected, carrying the fuel along with it to the cylinder. The rate of fuel injection is controlled by varying the pressure of the air. The high pressure and air requires multi-stage compressor so as to keep the air bottles charged. The fuel ignites by the high temperature of the air caused by high compression. The compressor consumes about 10% of the power developed by the engine, decreasing the net output of the engine. This method of fuel injection is very expensive and also complicated. So here we are discussing about the air blast injection. So let us discuss about the next, that is known as your airless or solid injection. So in airless injection method, the fuel under high pressure is directly injected into combustion chamber. It burns due to the heat of compression of the air. This method requires a fuel pump to deliver the fuel at highest pressure. This method is used for all types of small and big diesel engines. So again I told you previously that this airless or solid injection is again subdivided into two types, that is known as your individual pump system, and the second one is your common rail system. So first of all let us discuss about your individual pump system. In this system, each cylinder has its own individual high pressure pump and metering unit. That means each cylinder is having individual pump system, It is a quite compact method of involve, and this is a very quite compact method and also involved in a higher cost in comparison to others. So let us discuss about the last one, which is named as your common rail system. So here we can see you are not using a multi-stage compressor. Here the air what should enter into these air bottles are sucked from the atmosphere due to the vacuum created due to the piston moving from TDC to VDC. So here instead of using an individual pump for each of these cylinder, we are using a multi-cylinder fuel pump, and from that pump it will supply to all these cylinders by the help of a common rail. That is why this method of fuel injection is named as your common rail system. So in this system, the fuel is pumped by a multi-cylinder pump into a common rail. The pressure in this rail controlled by a relief valve. A metered quantity of fuel is supplied to each cylinder from the common rail. The airless injection is comparison to air blast injection is simple in construction. Number one, lighter in weight and is also cheaper than your air blast injection. The fuel is atomized properly. That means in common rail system the fuel is atomized properly. It is quite suitable for engine of higher output, but it requires higher accuracy in manufacturing the pump barrel and the fuel injection plunger. So we have to take a very quick through that the barrel must be in a good condition. The fuel is pumped by a multi-cylinder pump into a common rail, the pressure in which it controlled by a relief valve. The advantages of solid injection over fuel injection system are simple in construction, lighter in weight, low fuel consumption, lower initial cost, and no high pressure air compressor required to start the engine. So these are the some advantages if you compare it with the air blast injection. So here this is a very compact individual pump system is having very compact method of fuel injection system. So here we are going to learn about this the working principle of fuel injection system for multi-stage engine. So again it is having two types, one is your air blast injection and another one is your solid injection. So here we are already completed up to the solid injection and individual pump system. So because of this this is a very smoother output the common rail system. So here in the common rail system it is cheaper in comparison to the air blast injection. So this is all about your working principle of fuel injection system for multi-stage CI engines. Thank you.